Hello, I'm Jessica Stutzman, and this is the Millcreek Government Channel. Today, we are joined by Pennsylvania State Police Trooper Schick, and she is here to discuss senior scam precautions. Trooper Schick, thank you so much for being here with us today. This is a really important topic, and I'm so glad that we have your expertise to share with our viewers. It seems like our senior citizen population, and really everybody, the general public, is at risk for being scammed right now. Can we talk about maybe why, in particular, seniors might be more at risk than others?
Sure. Thanks for having me. So when we look at the senior population, when people are looking to scam individuals, they are looking for easy access. So most seniors are home, they're retired, so that's one reason that they're looking at the senior population. Also because they're retired, so they would assume that they would have large sums of money available, maybe from their retirement fund. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, sometimes they're more gullible than other people out there. And
that's what I was going to say too. I mean, they, with new technology and some malicious intent behind the technology, I think seniors can be more trusting and not always, understand that the person on the other end of the phone or the computer is, again, there to, steal money from them, really.
And then also too, again, with them being older, they're more sincere individuals usually, and they want to help people. So then they may fall for those scams.
Yeah. What are the most common scams that you guys are seeing?
So we see a variety of scams. I would say probably the biggest one is like the gift card scam. That one circulates throughout our troop, our area. So what that is, someone will call and will request gift cards to be purchased by the individual on the other line. A lot of times they'll stay on the phone line with them as they go to the stores. A lot of the stores now have caught on to this, and it will shut them off after so much money is spent on gift cards. So there's a limit at some of the stores. So again, they may be persuaded by that person, that scammer, to go to the next store, and to the next store, and to the next store until they receive the amount that they're asking for. Those are hard scams to solve, because as soon as those numbers are read, we're not going to be able to trace that information, and unfortunately that victim is out of that money.
When they're calling for the gift cards, are they pretending to be a family member? Are they pretending to be your boss? How and why do they want the gift cards?
It could be a little bit of anything. It could be a family member. It could be, like you said, a boss. It could be a bill company, maybe your electric company, garbage company, water, whatever it may be. And they want the gift cards because the reason you can't trace them. So once they get those numbers, that's gone.
Okay. So again, if anybody and does that come through a phone call or an email?
It's usually a phone call, but it could be anything. So one thing I always try to remind the public, we don't pay bills with our gift card. So gift cards are for gifts. That's why they're called gift cards. So if someone's requesting gift cards for some other type of payment, it's a scam.
Okay, so don't go out and buy gift cards for people. What other scams do we have?
So you have a list for me, and those are all common scams, but the email scams that might come across as, an Amazon message, and then it looks accurate, you owe money to your Amazon account, or maybe that grandparent scam as well, where your grandchild needs help or some other relative needs help, so they call that older person and try to convince them to send that money. That's a big one. And then we do get the lottery scams, vacation scams, and again, I just try to inform the public that if it's too good to be true, it's probably too good to be true. If you didn't sign up for a contest, then how are you winning a contest?
Right.
So just simple things to kind of keep in the back of your head.
Okay, so anything, again, credit cards, lottery winnings, we want a travel package, a fake donation, like if they're calling on behalf of a nonprofit organization.
Yep,
unless you're really familiar with that nonprofit, don't donate over the phone.
I always say go in person. One of the big scams out I've heard from many people, state police called asking for money. We're not going to call and ask for money.
Okay.
If you want to donate to a program, then go to that place in person, and then question that, and speak with someone who actually knows about that program, see if that program's true, and things like that.
Okay, all right. And the other one that comes through a lot, like pretend malware on your computer.
Sure.
And someone trying to fix it.
Sure, so we get those as well. Your computer's has viruses, and the only way that you can fix those viruses if you follow the steps that I'm about to give you. And then what happens is that person that's doing the scamming gets into that person's computer, and then the bank account access or whatever else it may be. Or they may then request money to make sure that the computer is, I guess, back up and running.
Right, right. Okay, so lots of scams that we have. And we said, they arrive by telephone, by email. Do the scams ever happen in person?
They could, someone knocking at your door. So I'm very leery of who comes to my house. That might just be because of my occupation. But again, don't be afraid to question. Call that number. If they give you a number or card, call it. Maybe drive there in person to see if it's an actual business. Be careful paying up front for things. Make sure you have contracts, even though contracts do fall through sometimes. But just again, be very, very careful. And if you're not sure, call a family member who might be sure, or call your local law enforcement agency and check as well.
Yeah, and what I wanted to add for at least Millcreek Township is we issue something called peddler's permits.
Sure.
If somebody is going to try and come and sell maybe like a lawn chemical application or something like that. So like you just said, check with your local law enforcement, check with Millcreek Police, or check with the Millcreek Township building, but feel free to take a minute, take a step back from the situation and find out if it's legitimate.
Sure.
Okay. How can, and maybe this isn't just for seniors, but how can we protect ourselves? What do we look out for?
Again, if it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. So look out for, maybe misspellings if it comes in an email or a letter. Things are just a little bit off. If they're asking you to give money to receive money, that should be a red flag. Why am I giving you something if I won something? So things like that. Another big one, if you don't mind if I switch gears a little bit, are the romance scams, that might come over social media or something like that, a phone call. And unfortunately, and it's not just men, but a lot of the victims that fall to that are men. So they're sending money to who they feel or think is a female, and who knows who's on the other end of that device. So again, just be careful.
Right, and so, and again, they're probably using, unfortunately, somebody else's photo that they took off the internet that they don't even know is being used.
Correct.
Pretending to be this other person and wanting, we've seen money or wanting cell phones, things like that, right?
Correct.
Okay. Who do we report scams to?
So it depends on where you reside. So if you reside in Millcreek Township, then you're going to report to the Millcreek Township Police. If you reside where they do not have a local police department, then that would be the state police.
Okay. Once it is reported to the police, how is it investigated? What do you guys need on your end in order to, like you said, sift through the gift card situation? How do you resolve the situation for that person? Are you able to get any money back, or, are they out of luck?
Majority of the time they are out of luck. If it involves money coming out of your bank account, I recommend that you make contact with your bank. Obviously get that bank account shut down, get those cards replaced. If it's a gift card, again, those are untraceable, so we're not going to be able to get that money back. Sometimes the scams do get solved, but a lot of times it's almost impossible because they're fake numbers, fake addresses, fake identities, and we're dealing with people maybe from a different country as well. And they change those numbers that they're using constantly just to keep their little scenarios going.
Right, and they're at the point now where they're becoming so good that they can mimic local numbers, right?
That's correct. Yep,
Okay.
There's a system that they can, put in different numbers that appear to be, maybe businesses that are local. So maybe it looks like the state police is calling you because, they had a spoofed number.
Okay, and the one thing I want to touch on is that nobody should be embarrassed. These people are really good at what they do, and to come forward takes a lot of courage to say that this happened to me. Have you been able to address that as well if somebody has reservations about what has happened to them?
Yeah, sure. So of course we want any victim to come forward because we don't want them to continue to be a victim, and we want that stopped. So we want to help them resolve that issue. You may be out of a ton of money, but a lot of times, the bank will be willing to help you as well. But yes, come forward, because we may be able to do something like this presentation we're doing today and push that information out to help someone in the future so they don't become a victim.
Yeah, and do you have any statistics on scams? Do you know any maybe national figures or state figures?
I don't have any statistics, but I can tell you that the majority of them, unfortunately, do not get resolved with that victim getting all their money back.
Okay. What resources are available? Anybody who's watching this program wants to protect themselves better, wants to protect their loved ones better.
Sure.
What resources are available?
So your local law enforcement agencies, of course, are there to help you. The banks are willing to help you too. They'll red flag some things if they don't think it's right, and they're going to have that discussion. You know, those fake checks that might come in. So those places are resources as well. But just really your friends and family or someone to look out or to look for, because we all fall victim at some point to something in our life, and we're dependent on by our family members maybe to look out for them, especially like our older family members and relatives. So if you have an older relative, maybe assist them. You know, what are you sending that money for, or why are you buying all those gift cards, or you know, whatever it may be.
Do you have anything else that you want to share with our viewers, or you know, without naming any names, a situation that you've had to deal with recently where you know this is at the forefront of Millcreek Police and the state police as a big issue? Is there anything that you wanted to leave our viewers with today?
I'm going to touch on a couple things. Again, just a lot of it's repeat, but just if it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. And don't be willing to give your money out easily. Make sure you're looking into that. But another situation that we see a lot is like in extortion cases where, you know, someone again uses social media and someone requests some type of photo, and usually it's an inappropriate photo, and that victim becomes a victim because they send it, and now they're being extorted for money. If you don't send us $1,000, $5,000, whatever it may be, we are going to put this out to all your relatives on your social media page or send it to your work. So again, don't send things that you wouldn't want your parents to see, that you wouldn't want your loved ones to see, because it's probably, if it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. Okay.
And yeah, and like I said, I feel so bad for those people who are put in those situations, because they have evolved. The scams have evolved over time, and they've gotten really, really good. I think, you know, there's even times where you get an email, and like you said, there's just one misspelling that you almost didn't catch, and that's how you find out it's a scam. Or, you know, just sometimes looking, I think, at the email name itself is helpful, because usually it's maybe sometimes a bunch of letters all crammed together. All right, Trooper Schick, I just wanted to thank you so much for being here and really touching on this important topic for us. We really want to keep all of our residents safe.
You're welcome.
Viewers, we learned so much here today about scams, and those particularly affecting seniors. So again, hopefully that you can pass this information along to your loved ones, and if you prey victim to one of these scams, we really encourage you to reach out to your local law enforcement agencies. I want to thank you for tuning into the Millcreek Government Channel, and until next time, have a great day.